Okay, today I'm in Sheffield with professional poker player and punter Rick Trigg. Thanks very much for agreeing
No
to
problem.
talk to us today,
No
Rick.
problem.
Right, now then, I've been reading up on you. Apparently, you've won 10 million quid online, 2.5 million quid clear profit. So why don't you lie on a beach somewhere?
Well, a lot of that will be when I was staked. So in poker, there's this thing where you give 50% to someone else and they pay all your buy-ins and take all the risk, and you just take 50%. So maybe at half of my poker career, I've been staked. So 50% to the good guys and 50% to the baddies. You know, a lot of them are my friends. I'm not going to say that. So that's one reason. Another reason is I like to spend a lot of money as well. But yeah, basically, I love it in Sheffield as well. I travel a lot with poker sometimes anyway, so I'm happy here. You know,
Okay,
basically I've done a load of it. You know?
so you've been a professional poker player for 13 years. How did you
Yeah.
get started in the game?
I've always used to play blackjack at school, little games like when we were 12 with tiny cards, take people's school money. We had the best rules ever as banker. We could change our cards, we could burn on 13 and 40 and they couldn't and stuff, and it was the most crooked game ever. So then I got into, I used to take bets at school when I was 15 on the football World Cup, Copa Mundial, whatever it was, Copa America, sorry. And then my dad used to let me play the Bandits. I think I got a bit hooked when I was about 10 in the social club, playing on the old cops and robbers machines. And then I used to go out 15, 16 in the nightclub in local town. Got back home, late night poker on. When I got back, just laid in bed, half cut, like just watching late night poker. I thought this is a bit of me, you know. There's a lot more razzmatazz in the game then. People were suited up and they looked the part. And nowadays it's just people in jogging bottoms and jogging tops and hoodies on, and it's a lot more antisocial than it used to be.
Now, you were ranked 4th in the world in 2014. Now, that takes some doing.
It did. I spent nearly all of my whole year playing. When you stake by someone, which I was back then, they call it make-up. So if you lose 20 grand one night, it's a big number. I don't usually hardly ever do that anymore. You have to win 20 back for them before you get a penny yourself. So then you win 30, they get 20, you split the 10. So I was like in a massive hole from 2013. It was my worst year. On my online graph, it just goes 2013 bump, 2014, like just massive. And every other year has just been straight to trajectory really. I was $260,000 like to make before I got a penny back. So I was like, right, shit or bust really. I've got to just play everything coming, play my best, get any fallacy out of my head that it's bad luck, and just really work on my game. And I did, and just smashed it that year really felt really good at the end of the year, really good.
So what happens if a stakeholder, if they get cold feet, do they just do their money?
If they either run out of money or decide that you're not good enough, then you don't have a commitment to pay it back. You just both of you go your separate ways, and that's it.
So that's quite handy if they pull out just before you hit the poker patch.
Well, it would be, but then I was probably that skint back then. I didn't have enough money to stake myself, so you know.
Apparently, when you first started, there was a team of you guys, of mates of yours, that all became fairly successful back in the day. Were they mates that you made because of poker, or were they all got into it at the same time?
I think we all got into it, about 2005-06. There's a website that's still there called Blonde Poker Forum, and we all met on there. Had little banter on the discussion groups and stuff, and they liked to bet as well. We used to talk about Cheltenham and stuff and what have you, and we met there, and we ended up having the same staker back in 2009. Went on a big trip to Vegas and stuff, and a couple are still playing now to a really good level. Others have gone on to pastures new, which is quite a lot of the guys I started out playing with. Probably only 15-20% is still playing now. Some not a really high level.
Okay, now I read that you're known as the Grinder. Now, apparently it's not an offensive nickname, so it just means that you grind away until you get a profit. What is the secret to that sort of punting patience?
Well, you just got to know that in every tournament you've got a certain percentage edge, so return on investment. So I think overall consistently throughout my career I've been about 25%. So I'll win 25% of the turnover every year or every 2 years, or eventually, because poker you can have a year bad run, as I showed. I just like to sometimes I just get in the zone where I can play for 16 hours straight, play 15, 16 tables at once, play really well, and just do it like that. And I don't have many days off either. I have more now. I've got a family, but I used to play sometimes seven days a week for months on end without a day off.
How do you focus in such long sessions?
Music, and just, I don't know. It's like an intense focus where you just know you're doing your job well. You know you're performing well, and there's a really good enjoyment about beating other players and outsmarting them.
Was it soothing music or heavy metal?
Oh God, it's everything. It can go from Burt Bacharach to Elvis Costello to AC/DC to Frank Sinatra to dance music to anything cheesy, ABBA, Elton John, you know, everything. Bruce Springsteen, that sort of stuff, everything.
So you, when you started, the online poker boom was pretty much as high
as I was starting, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, how does it compare now to win money compared to when you started?
Well, the prizes are a lot smaller now. The prize pools. I think a regular tournament on a 6 o'clock on PokerStars on a Monday night or something used to be like 40,000 to win it, and now it's 6,000 because in 2010 I think or 2009 something called Black Friday, where the Americans basically got banned from playing online poker, and that was 60% of the market at least. And for tax reasons, they wanted to keep the money taxed in their own country, and they've regulated it so they can only play in certain states in America. And France has gone as well. That's the same way. They've got PokerStars France, and Italy have gone, and Spain have gone, and Australia have gone. So now all these countries, the players can't play there. But what the good ones do is they migrate, and the bad ones just don't play anymore. They find another hobby. So it didn't only get smaller, but it got tougher. You know, so poker is the same as punting. You just got to adapt, keep adapting, and adapt faster than other people, and you'll always beat them.
So do you think the heyday is gone and it's gone forever?
I don't think they'll ever see the likes of we did in 2006, 5, 6, 7, 8 to probably 2010 ever again. But there's a good chance it might pick back up again.
Okay.
If a few certain sites pick their ideas up.
And what do you think they need to do to pick their ideas up?
Just get new people in. There's no point. A lot of poker sites advertise to existing players. Like, you need to get people off the streets to play. You need to get adverts on telly. I know some have got famous footballers, and that works. People say, well, what's he doing there? I'll give this a shot. But some of the poker players are advertised on other sites, you know. My granny's not going to know who this guy who plays online poker is, you know. So they've just got to get their advertising sorted and make it appealing again. It's not much fun to play online anymore. There used to be people chatting in the chat box and stuff, and you know, like you'd sweet talk someone, not as ruthlessly as it sounds, but you'd have a chat with them and how you doing, how you getting on, and people would want to play. It'd be a more social thing. Now it's so cutthroat and ruthless out there. People are just trying to cling on to every little edge they can and smash it to bits.
You're sponsored by Grosvenor Casinos or Grosvenor Poker. That's live. So how much of your time now is split online and live?
Well, the majority of it is live. They've got a website here, online site here, Grosvenor Poker, and I play a little bit for them. Contract to play a little bit for them online as well. But I probably play about 10 or 12, maybe 15 tournaments live in the UK in the year, and I play a few abroad. But online I'm playing 45, 50 a day, so just goes to show you probably 98% of my time is just in this room, just playing on a computer, listening to music and getting it done that way. I like to think that if you've got an edge on something, you want to play as many of them as you can a day, and I don't like to spend all this money travelling in hotels. It just takes off your bottom line.
Right, keep talking about an edge. What is your edge?
The edge is that I'm a lot better than other people in the tournaments I'm playing at. I don't like to go play too high where I know that I'm one of the bottom quarter. There'll be a few fields online every night that I'll be the bottom 10%, 15%, 20% of it, of the players. But most of the stuff I play, I'm in the top 10% easily, top 5%. So I'm just playing against people who I'm a lot better than for whatever reason. And that's my edge. In a lot of stuff I'll be 40, 50%, probably bigger advantage. So every time I'm paying $100, $200 tournament, I'll be earning basically 100. Sometimes it'll be smaller, but yeah, that's the edge I've got, and that's at the moment that's a lot bigger than any edge I can get in racing or anything else. So that's why I'm sticking. So where I am for now.
So what characteristics do you need to be a great poker player, or even a good one?
You've got to be a good data analyzer, actually, which sounds daft. There's software called Poker Tracker, and it's basically, say if me and you played, Simon, and we played for 3 hours on a Tuesday night in October 2 years ago, the software that I use tracks it. So when you turn up again and I don't recognise you, I can say, oh no, I've played him, and I know how aggressive he is, or if he's a weak player, or if he's a strong player, or if he does too much betting, too much bluffing, too much this, and I can call on that. So to advance it a little bit, I can tell how many times people raise from a certain position, and I can exploit that. So it's a lot of that, patience and temperament. I mean, I've seen that much in poker in my life that the whole house could crumble down now and I wouldn't bat an eyelid. I've seen everything in gambling. Well, not everything, I've seen everything in poker. Anything that can happen, massive ups, massive downs, sessions where you've lost every hand when you're a 70% favourite for 35 straight, improbabilities, impossibilities nearly. So you can't get shaken by anything, because that's when you'll start playing bad.
So how can you spot a bad player?
Just not playing the way that it's best to earn money, really. Just being too passive in pots and giving the initiative to the player and not being able to read a hand well. If there's 3 of us in a pot, usually I'll be able to know by the end if I've got the best hand, the second best hand, or the worst hand. Just being a good card reader and being a bad one, you're just going to lose money.
And is there an area of your own poker playing that you think you still need to improve on, or all of it?
Oh yeah, for sure. Heads up play when it gets down to last 2 in a tournament, which is stupid because it's the one where the most money's up for grabs, because they stagger the tournament. So first place might be 50%, second 25%. So sometimes you're playing for a hell of a lot of money with the last 2 players. And my record in big tournaments is very few ones and a lot of twos. In smaller ones, it's the other way around. But maybe it's just a bit of bad variance, you know, or maybe I just need a bit more coaching on that. So definitely looking to improve that as we speak.
You mentioned a minute ago that when your luck's out, improbabilities come up, and the things that shouldn't happen. What percentage of skill compared to luck is there in poker?
It depends how much you play. If I play 50,000 tournaments a year, then very, very, very small percentage of luck. If I play one tournament with you now, you might finish in front of me in the tournament. Doesn't mean you're a better player. It means that the smaller sample, the more luck takes a big factor. There's guys who I think aren't very good at poker who made 300, 400,000 last year on a small sample size of about 500 tournaments. Now anyone can win money on a small sample of tournaments. Same way that if you pick a racing post up and you don't know what you're doing, you can still go through the card. You know, it's the exact same thing as that. But I think, sample size tells you a lot of luck and skill. So I'd probably say, as a general rule, 70% skill, 30% luck. In any given tournament, probably 50-50. But if you've got a 25% edge, obviously, once you've played 40,000, the luck gets evened out, and you're running true to how you should perform, really.